The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Today at the Chokeslam Wrestling Report YouTube channel, we're going to do a preview of the Impact Rebellion pay-per-view, especially the main event match between AEW World Champion Kenny Omega versus Impact World Champion Swann. What does this mean to the wrestling business? Who is going to benefit from this event? Is Impact is the ones going to come out winning out of this, or is AEW is the ones going to come out of it? I got that and my analysis and opinion on this match on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.
Hit the music.
Another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report through the YouTube channel. And this week's Wrestling Roundup, I'm going to be talking about the Kenny Omega, AEW World Champion versus Impact World Champion Swann. And this match is going to happen this Sunday. This is what we've been waiting for the last 90 plus days. And see who is the dominating champion. Now, my thing is, we're ready for this match or whatever, but as I don't know, from what I've been seeing the last 3 months as far as Impact is concerned, who is going to benefit out of this? Now, according to the press conference they had 2 weeks ago, according to Tony Khan and according to Scott D'Amore, whoever wins this match, they have to comply with the title defenses and all that from whoever wins from the promotion. Now, my thing is, I know for a fact that in December, Kenny Omega won the AEW World title from Jon Moxley. And as we saw, that following week, he showed up at Impact. This was a opening door and a working relationship with Impact. And this was in December. And this opened up another door. And this other door is New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, since this forbidden door has been pretty much, let's say, endorsed, only one wrestler has come through that forbidden door that has come from another company and has joined and has come in to attack a wrestler, come in a wrestling match and leave, and that was Kenta. Now, Kenta, of course, he was the number one contender for the United States IWGP title from Moxley, who is the current champion. And of course, Kenta was walking around with his briefcase since last summer, and that briefcase contained a title shot because he won the New Japan Cup USA and the New Japan Strong tournament in the summer. But because of the pandemic, Moxley was unable to go to Japan or wrestle, but Kenta was calling him out for a while. So that's when he showed up at AEW Dynamite. This opened the door wide open, and now the forbidden door is open. But the only one that I know that has been who took advantage of that forbidden door was Impact. Because then after that, Finn Juice Robinson and David Finlay showed up at Impact and challenged the Good Brothers for the Impact World titles. After that, a couple of weeks later, Finn Juice beat the Good Brothers for the Impact World titles and then left to Japan with those belts. Now, many people say, well, it don't matter because they're not showing up. Nope. They ended up showing up those belts at the New Japan Cup tournament this past March. And they were walking around with those belts, showing it on the New Japan events, New Japan TV. They were showing it. So Impact was smart out of all this because they went and they put the belts on Juice Robinson and David Finlay, where they could show more exposure to the Japanese audience, and they could see Impact Wrestling through Impact Plus or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, who really is coming out winning out of all this? Because AEW, again, were able to bring Kenta. They were able to have a good match where Kenta wasn't beaten in those 2 weeks. The 1 week he was in Dynamite. So the question is, let's say if Kenny Omega wins the title, what does this mean? Impact. Who comes out? It does Impact even do they win out of this? Because Kenny Omega winning the world title, I can already see that you're gonna have a lot of wrestlers out there who's gonna want to challenge him. There's moves. You got Sami Callihan, you got James Storm, you have who else? And I don't want nobody to tell me Tommy Dreamer because Tommy Dreamer is the old boy. He shouldn't be in the ring. But there's challengers for Kenny Omega to win the title. Not only that, but Omega wins this belt. Is he gonna hold both belts? Because Rich Swann is walking around with the TNA and Impact World titles. So is Kenny Omega walking around with a bunch of belts around? That'll be like 5 belts he's gonna have. You know what I'm saying? Or 4 belts. And then is he gonna go and wrestle somebody else, another promotion champion? Because you still got out there MLW's, you know, big man Jacob Fatu, who is dominating MLW for God knows how long. Then you have NWA's Nick Aldis, who he hasn't been beaten for 3 years for that belt. You know what I'm saying? So who comes out winning out of all this? If Rich Swann wins, let's say Rich Swann wins, which I don't think he is. Okay, Rich Swann should have never beaten Moose to begin with. Okay, Moose lost to Rich Swann in a title unification back in Sacrifice. To me, I still say he should have never lost. I think that would have been a better matchup for Kenny Omega, but not that Rich Swann can't give Kenny Omega a run for his money, but Kenny Omega pinned him already in Hard to Kill. He pinned him in a 6-man tag. So, you know, Rich Swann has more to lose than Kenny Omega. You know what I'm saying? Omega, I mean, even though the belts are on the line, Omega losing to Rich Swann will be a big blow to his ego, a big blow to his mystique, and all that. But Rich Swann, if he wins, it's big. It's a big win for him, and it's a big win for Impact because they're showing, well, our world champion is better than your world champion. That's not going to happen. Then to top it off, what I hear is that Tony Khan is bringing Aubrey Edwards as the referee for this match. Okay, I feel that, you know, I hope they don't make her do something iffy because they'll kill her credibility as far as a champion. I mean, as a referee, I'm sorry. And so Rich Swann has a lot more to lose than Kenny Omega. Omega could always go back and win the AEW title. You know, and Omega already has established himself as supposedly the best bout machine, the best wrestler in the business. Rich Swann, in his case, he loses, you know, is back to the drawing board. He's even going to get another title match with Omega. I mean, you know, I still feel this. I see Kenny Omega winning it. Some type of outside interference. Do not be surprised that the Young Bucks showed up, Impact get involved. This is going to be a crazy, crazy. Now, as an overall for the whole professional wrestling business, we have to look at this and say, is this is good for wrestling business? I think it does because now you can have possibilities, a lot of possibilities of maybe having, like I said, Jacob Fatu show up at AEW, or you know, or Omega showing up at MLW. I mean, Court Bauer is doing a lot of stuff for his company. I mean, they are going to try to relaunch Lucha Underground, but it's going to be called Azteca Underground. I know that for a fact it's going to happen. The fact that MLW is ready to open up, have audience July 10th in Philly. So there's a lot of possibilities there. The NWA is still iffy for me because NWA is like they claim they're the best wrestling in the business, yet I see some of the shows that does not bring any type of reaction to me. But Nick Aldis could be talking a lot of crap about he's the best, and Omega shows up at NWA because AEW has a working relationship with NWA. So that could be possibilities. But the match between Swann and Omega is going to be interesting. The only way that Swann could win, and it's all about speed. If he could make Omega overwork, make his lungs burn for oxygen, he could win. I mean, he cannot afford to get hit with those V triggers that Omega hits. Omega hits you with those V triggers. it's over. It will be over even before the match is even begin. So that's one thing I could say about that. That um, Omega, if he hits you with that, it's over. The one wing angel is the burial. The V trigger is the assassination. So that's the only way I see Swann winning, if he could avoid the V trigger and if he could avoid that one wing angel. But I, I, I don't know. I have a feeling that's going to be outside interference. Something is going to happen, and which is going to cost Swann the title. And I spoke to my friend from the UK, WNR podcast, Mr. John Rowland. I told him it was better off Impact to had moved win beat Swann to give a better title match between Omega and Swann. That's what I said. But after watching the press conference last week and whatnot, I feel that this is going to be something that maybe Swann's going to have to step up to another level that he probably never done. And it's like Omega said, you've never been on this stage. Okay? And, and he's been on those stages plenty of times. His match between him and Okada in 2018, hour and 6 minutes in Dominion, where he won the IWGP belt, is classic to this day. And I don't see Rich Swann winning the belt. I know a lot of Impact Wrestling fans are going to be like, oh, you know what you're talking about. We got the best wrestling. Listen, I'm not saying Impact doesn't have a good wrestling. I'm not saying that Rich Swann is not good at all, but he's not beating Kenny Omega. The odds are against him. There's going to be some type of outside interference because that's just the way Omega's been booked ever since he won his AEW title. Outside interference. If Omega beats Swann cleanly with no outside interference, I don't know, what is to say. Impact, and again, what if Impact benefits from Kenny Omega winning the title? I believe so because Kenny Omega he's a bigger star, and people are gonna want to watch Impact. And that's the only reason I've been watching Impact. The reason I've been watching Impact ever since this Forbidden Door has been open, since actually a little bit longer than that way. Omega showed up at Impact. This was back December 3rd, December 4th, something like that. I've been watching it for the last 4 months. I don't watch it every week, but I catch up to some of the stuff because there's papers that come through, and I do the uh, the podcast with my friend in the UK where we review the Impact, and that's the only reason I watch it because of that. But if Swan wins, it doesn't help Impact at all. I'll tell you why. Because right now, I was watching Impact, and I noticed that they had a great match of 2 weeks ago with Josh Alexander and TJP. I think they're going to continue that in the four-way. I think it's a four-way match between all those guys, Austin Ace, Ace Austin, the X Division champion, and I think I forgot who was the other guy. I think Williams for the X Division championship. Um, Alexander TJP match was great. That was the beginning of the show. And the crazy is they begin the show with a bang, but then it ends it bad. I mean, the Sami Callihan, Trey Miguel feud is getting good. But again, they have little stuff here and there, but they can't keep their wrestlers. Nirvana just left. They're about to, Jordan Grace, unless they put the tag team belts on her, okay, she's about to be gone. And then Eric Young is hurt and whatnot. And, the Jazz just retired. So Josh Alexander, his contract is up too in May. So they're going to sign him. So if Kenny Omega wins the title, it's going to help Impact. If he doesn't, Impact is in the world of trouble. Unless, like I said before, AEW starts letting Impact use some of their talent that they use on AEW Dark Evolution, into their fold. That's the only way that can happen. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I have Kenny Omega winning Sunday by outside interference. Aubrey Edwards, it's going to be the referee. So if there's going to be, I said, it's going to be a winner. If I hope it's not a disappointment because I've been waiting for this for 4 months to see this match. it can't be no Impact cannot fail on this. AEW cannot fail on this because a lot of people already were pissed off with the explosion match that was a dud. And if Impact and AEW don't, uh, they have been hyping this match up for a while. If they don't bring it, uh, they don't bring it to the expectation. People are going to be turning off, and they're going to lose a lot of audience. We'll see what happens. And again, it'll be interesting, very interesting to watch. I got Kenny Omega winning Sunday. Um, Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let me know what your thoughts, leave me your comments on the bottom of this video. Again, guys, I appreciate all my supporters, my subscribers who've been subscribing to my channel. Again, if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. You can subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, and hit that thumbs up so you help this channel so people can find me much faster. Also, as you can see, I am wearing the Chokeslam Wrestling Report baseball cap that is available at tcwr.veryimpressive.com. That's tcw.veryimpressive.com. Register to the website. That's one thing I have not been saying. You can register to the website to get not only just to order my merchandise, but you get the YouTube videos and my audio podcast all in that website. So you register to the website, you could you can order your hats, your baseball caps in there also all in one website. Veryimpressive.com. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. So you guys can order your shirt. You have this baseball cap that I got here, as you can well see. I got other T-shirts with this logo on it. I got a bunch of other stuff in there that you guys can check it out and purchase. If you guys are having problems with trying to order and don't have PayPal, there's a part where when you check out, it tells you to change it. If you want to pay it by debit card, credit card, one day you can change it, but you have to register to the website and whatnot. If you don't register to the website, then you're gonna have to get a PayPal account. And if you can't order it through there, you can always reach out to me on to through either my Facebook or Twitter account or Instagram account, and you can send me the money through Cash App, and I will put the order through so you can get it. Send me your address. Well, that's a lot of ways to get my merchandise. Again, guys, if you want to follow me on my audio podcast, you can follow my audio podcast, the Chokeslam Wrestling Report.com. You can follow me on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon, and any major audio podcast that you guys like to listen to your podcast show. So there's a lot of ways you can support. And like I said, you can register to my website. That's tcwr.veryimpressive.com so you can hear the YouTube videos. If you click in the bottom, you'll see the Chokeslam Wrestling Report red logo. You click that, it'll lead you to the archives on my audio stuff. So everything is there. So let me know what you guys think and about this video. Again, I don't want to take your time, but thank you for supporting, and I will see you guys sometime next week. This is part of the Wrestling Roundup, and you guys have a good day. Wear that mask, stay 6 feet apart, and stay safe.